whatever happened to Central School of the Arts, right? And if you look at Spaulding School of the Arts, our website, spauldingschooofthearts.com, you'll see a little write-up of the journey for Central School of the Arts. Maybe we'll make two video series. So stay tuned for the next. No, I'm going to do it anyway. So can we get into a little bit of the story behind Central School of the Arts and what your involvement was and how that went?
Yeah. So when they were like taking down the old school, you had stepped in and said, "Hey, let's do a huge school or an art school."
Yes.
And I say huge because it became ginormous. It was like there's a circus in there and all sorts of stuff, right? So we didn't just do a School of the Arts. It kind of was cuisine. There was circus. There was
there's music. There's drama. There's
so
production, television production. There was you name it, audio production. There was we'll get into some of that stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then it kind of, because it got so big on that campus, we decided to look out onto like a new place, but like out in a field. Like you were gonna buy property. It was near an airport. Like it was getting
insane.
Oh my god.
You see, what happened was things went public, and the members of the community, like 100,000 people, came behind us because everyone knows this is needed.
Yeah.
And that was back then. Before we're in a social political environment here that's very charged and very different than, as you know, than 7 years ago. And there's an even greater need now for what we're doing.
Absolutely.
But even back then, there were 100,000 people just saying, let's go, let's do this, let's do this. And we needed, I think it was 12 million or about 20 million is what we budgeted for to purchase Central High School and then start working it. We wouldn't necessarily use the whole thing. We're not going to get into the details. And then, so I needed to get funding for that. And this wild members of the community from at large started calling me saying, I'm a philanthropist or I'm well funded. How can I help? How can I help? And so it got to the point where even the HVAC was this dank old system that we had a local HVAC professional said, dude, I'm going to put one in for you. I just want to see the kids and the community impacted in the right way.
Yeah, it was amazing. Amazing who came forward. So and it just got big. So we had a local financier looking at putting up 12 million, 12 to 20. We had another international one, I believe it out of the Caribbean, looking at putting up 20. We had another pair of investors looking to put up another 20. So we had this project funded 3 times over. And what's funny in the whole process is I could not get a price from the board. They didn't tell me I need to raise 1 million or 100 million. And finally we got to a point where they gave me 30 days to come up with, I don't know, a $70,000 check and a non-disclosure to begin to negotiate that process. And thankfully we had the players to make that happen, except 2 of them couldn't get the funds in time and 1 ran into business logistic issues. So we could not enter the bidding process. And I think that was partially by design and how it was all cooked up. But that's fine, because one of the investors said, Damien, your project that you have is actually one of the smallest we'd ever fund. And so he gave me the challenge of, if he lift the lid on this and allowed me to build whatever I wanted, what would it look like? And I said, don't say that to me, because I tend to think really big. Yeah, you're like way up here. Bring all the things.
Yeah. So and that's where Stephanie, it got huge, right? And that's when you started looking at property and buying property and putting in this massive 2 performance theaters and putting in a production space. I have connections with Walt Disney and Universal and a lot of the heavies down in the United States, and so I had their attention. They wanted to step up. To this day, I'm getting calls from one guy in Atlanta saying, when are you going to do this? And anyway, so we built this massive plan. 100 million is not even touching what this plan, touching what this plan was, and not even touching. So, but we can only fund that with one major investor, and so we kind of built the scope, we built the specification, we built the 100-page business plan, and it was painful. And then we said, okay, that's done. And then we built a phasing plan that's one step below. That was like a $20 million plan.
Yeah.
And then behind that plan, we had the first gateway plan, which is now what we're doing now. So nearing 10 years later, we have this massive journey ahead. And if you really want to know what that journey is, you can reach out. And I'm transparent. Enough time has passed. I won't get in trouble for sharing anything. but I share with you the big vision and some of the connections that we've made. But knowing that your child and your family now is going to be nurtured, that the goal is to not only do primary and secondary, but post-secondary, the whole 9 yards turnkey here. And the interest from people in the community for that to happen is monumental. I'm glad to be delivering this for everybody.
Yeah, it's a lovely place to learn. It just is not like any other place you've ever experienced. Absolutely.
All right. So I'm thinking through the memories of some many precious moments in the school. I'm glad to be a part of it. It's much bigger than any 1 or 10 people. It's huge, and I'm glad that you're a part of it. So